What is going on, you guys? It's Extreme here, and yes, it is time once again for another episode of my Road to Max Prestige. And today, I'm going to be talking to you guys about my oldest niece. Now, I wish I could say her name, but I have been asked multiple times not to talk about certain things about the kiddos, about my nieces and nephew, here on my channel by my brother and my sister-in-law. And out of respect for them and for the protection of those kids, I'm gonna, abide by that until either A, they trust me, or B, well, I feel I kind of have no other choice. So, the reason I want to talk about my niece, if I haven't already mentioned it, I'll do so now, is her birthday is within the next 7 days. And my niece played a very important role in bringing my family back together. And when I say my family, I mean me, my brothers, my dad, after my mom passed away. She came into the world almost over a year after my mom passed. And I guess the best way to put it was, when that little girl came into this world, it was like we finally got to the light at the end of the tunnel, Because when my mom passed away, it was nothing but just bad times, like all bad times. Nothing good was happening. And then I found out my brother was going to be a dad, and I thought, holy crap, I'm going to be an uncle. Holy crap, you're going to be a dad. Fuck! He beat me to it. But, because I thought for sure I was going to be married, have kids, well before my brother did. I was wrong. So, he tells me on his birthday, which just so happened to also be Thanksgiving Day, and, he's like, so I got to tell you something, and you can't tell anybody. And I'm like, what's that? And he goes, she's pregnant. And I said, wait, what? And she is my sister-in-law. I don't know if I said her name before. I don't know if I should or not. But I'll just go with that for now. So he tells me she's pregnant, and his girlfriend. They were just dating at the time. He told me his girlfriend was pregnant at the time. And I thought, holy crap, dude, you're going to be a dad, badass. And he's like, yeah. I'm scared shitless. And I'm like, yeah, you'll be fine, dude. You'll be fine. And he would tell me how terrified he was because, my mom was gone and he didn't really have anyone he could count on to help him. And I'm like, what am I, chopped liver? And he said, yeah, I know, but, it's different, You're my brother. You don't have kids, blah, blah, blah. And I said, you're right. I don't have kids, but I helped mom take care of you two fuckers growing up. And he sat there and thought about it for a moment and goes, yeah, but it's not the same. And I'm like, whatever, dude. He literally calls me a lot to help him watch his kids. So, obviously there was some truth to what I was saying. Fucker. Anyways, so she basically was the light at the end of the tunnel. And there's other reasons for why I say that. And I know my dad, if he ever sees this commentary or hears it or hears me even saying this, he's going to be a little miffed at me. But my dad, after my mom passed away, he had seriously contemplated, joining her, if you know what I mean. And he had attempted. I hate to admit this. My dad attempted at one point. And I didn't include this in the Darkest Day video because it just made things worse. But he did. He attempted about not even a week after my mom passed, and I caught him and I stopped him before anything happened, thankfully. And I asked him why, and he said, I don't have a reason to go on without your mom. And I said, yeah, you do. That guy right there. And I pointed at my little brother Elliot. And he said, yeah, I know. And I said, yeah, and that guy right there. And I pointed at my brother Eric. And he goes, yeah, I know. And I said, Dad, I love you. I don't need you, but they do. And if you leave, I'll pull your ass back, beat the shit out of you, and then let you kill yourself again so I can do it all over again. He looked at me, laughed, and said, yeah, your mother would do the same thing. I'm like, no shit. So, I inherited a lot of traits from that woman, so I knew how to deal with him. And being, it's okay, no worries. No. You got to be firm with my dad, unfortunately, which sucks because he's my dad and I'm his son, and it's a little weird sometimes. But it works, so... But he was seriously thinking about doing it again. And this was right around the time my niece was about to be born. And when my niece was born, something had happened during the delivery. I can't go into what. I've been asked absolutely not to talk about it, and I won't. But something happened, and she ended up in the ICU for like a day or two. And everything was fine. You know, she wasn't a preemie or any of that bullshit. She was born on time. She was actually overdue, essentially. So she comes into the world with a lot of hoopla and people panicking. So I'll tell you that much. It wasn't the last time she's made people panic, okay? She learned to make me panic like it was nothing. Okay? In fact, I think she got her rocks off fucking making her uncle panic. The things that kid did, man. Not even joking. Okay? I'll share some of the stuff if I have time. But when she came into the world, my dad and my brother, who were probably the most fractured from the rest of us, it slowly healed the family, and we were brought back together, and it was because of this little girl. And I love her to death, man, and I can't believe she's getting older and she's getting bigger. I mean, she's a tiny little kid, okay? I love her to death. She's small for her age, but she reminds me so much of my mom, man. It's scary, like really fucking scary how much she reminds me of my mom. And she does things that my mom used to do. She acts like my mom used to, and it's like, crap, dude, you didn't have a kid, you had mom. My brother looks at me and goes, don't say that, fucker. But that's what it feels like. I mean, it really does. My oldest niece reminds me and my dad and my brother so much of my mom, it's not even funny. It is scary, but it's also kind of cool to know that maybe there's a part of my mom that will live on forever, essentially. But this little girl, man, remember how I was saying she could taught me, or not taught me, but found a way to make me panic all the fucking time? Well, you guys know I've watched my brother's kids since my oldest niece was, about 3-4 months old. And from that time on, I have been watching this little girl, and I've watched her grow up. And there would be a lot of times where, I'd be playing World at War or Black Ops, and I'd be sitting there just playing away, playing zombies. She'd be sitting in her little chair with a sippy cup or bottle, fucking just chilling, and there I am just going hours on hours of playing zombies with my brother Elliot and my buddy Josh. And we would just go, and she'd sit there, and eventually she picked up on some stuff. Anytime I got the ray gun out the box, she would be like, pew, pew, pew. Like, not even bullshit. She would literally put her finger like a gun and go pew, pew, pew every single time. And I'm like, yeah, she knows what's up. So it was hilarious. It was fun. And she was actually born just after the last map pack came out for World at War. So that's a thing. Which was really cool. And I would play that map a lot, and she would love watching me play that map for some strange reason. I don't know. Maybe it was because you could get the upgraded ray gun, and she thought it was cool. I'm not kidding. This kid thought it was the greatest thing ever. Anytime I had it, she'd be like, pew, pew, pew. And of course, I'd start shooting it off like a madman just to make my niece laugh. But her laugh is so infectious, dude. It's awesome. I love these kids. I love my brother's kids. I love my nieces and nephew. And I love my oldest niece, unfortunately, the most. She is my favorite of the three. I hate to say that, but it's the truth. But there's special reasons, like I said, her coming when she did into this world saved my family. And for that, this little girl doesn't realize it, but I'm forever grateful to her. And if I'm ever in a position where I can do anything to help her in any way, shape, or form, I'm going to. One, it's technically my job now. And two, it's just how I roll. You know what I mean? So, but like I was saying though, when we would hang out, when I would watch her, this is more specific, where we lived at the time, we had this massive room. And I think I've told this story once before, but I'm going to share it again. And in this massive room, I had a couch. There was no carpet, and I had this monster projection television. By projection television, I mean I had a projector and a really big screen. I miss my fucking 130-inch screen. Anyways, seriously, that's how big the screen was. I'm not joking. And yes, I was compensating. Anyways, so that's horrible. So she would get up on the couch though, and for the shits and giggles of it, she would get up on the top of the couch and jump off and go belly first, fucking belly flopping, if you will, on the fucking concrete floor. Every single time she did this, my heart would stop. And she did it because she loved to make her uncle panic. Because my sister-in-law had made it very fucking clear, if anything happened to this little girl, I was a dead man. So here I am freaking out because this kid is intentionally trying to give her uncle a heart attack. And she was enjoying it. She's laughing her ass off, and I'm like, don't do that. Do it again. It's like, you fucking little shit. So that's my niece, though, and to this day she still does shit like that. However, the fear of, you know, my sister-in-law is still there, because now there's 3 of them. It's 3 times as bad, by the way, but she's not so bad. She's not as bad as she used to be. She still will do those just, kid, if you don't kill yourself, I'm gonna kill you moments. You know, I think she finds it really enjoyable making her uncle panic just to no end. Good Lord help me. But that's my niece, dude, and like I said, I love her to death, and I can't believe she's gonna be another year older. And she's actually starting kindergarten here soon, and I'm like, holy God, man. Like, I remember when I could hold her and like I'd sit and play zombies with her, man. And it's like, she's not even my kid, all right? I gotta state that for the record. She's not my kid, but I've been there through most of her life, almost all of her life so far, and I'm grateful to my brother for wanting me to be there. I didn't have that kind of relationship with my aunts and uncles. I had that relationship with my aunt, the one that unfortunately passed away this past year, but not really anyone else. And I'm grateful that I have this relationship with my nieces and nephew, and I can go see them whenever I want, and it's encouraged most of the time. So there are the occasional day where it's like, yeah, you stay over there because you're in trouble. What'd I do? Yeah, I actually had to say that before. What'd I do? What'd I do this time, you know? I never find out what I did, but I know I did something. So, but yeah, so I love my niece, and with her birthday coming up, I thought I'd do a commentary about it, and that's basically what I just did. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode, and yeah, I mean, I've pretty much got nothing really. There's so much more I could say, but because I can't really be specific about stuff, you know, I can't say your name or anything like that. Kind of makes some of the stories a little harder to tell. But I thought while I had a few moments left, I'd very briefly touch on the fact that once again, we are not getting a fucking weapon with this DLC. And as of now, there is no indication that there will be anything special added with this DLC, other than the fact that, oh, you can now reset your stats. I call bullshit. Just saying. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I will be back tomorrow with another one. And I think you guys might like tomorrow's story just a little bit. Maybe. I don't know. Anyways, until next time, you guys, I'm out of here. Adios. Maybe sort of kind of pissed her off. And she's the type of person that when you piss her off, you have 2 choices. Run or run really, really fast. That's it. You really don't have any other options. If you can't run, you can't run really, really fast, you're pretty much fucked because bad things are coming. Actually, the other option, really, there's one other option, and that's, you know, beg for forgiveness. She's a very violent person, and for the record, I'm not going to describe too much about her, but when I call her Shorty, there's a very specific reason for that. Can't figure it out. She's short. Anywho, so for this short little woman, she packs one hell of a punch, man. I mean, God almighty.